The small town of Evershade had always been a place of whispers. Nestled deep within a valley, surrounded by thick forests, it was a town where secrets lingered in the air like mist. People often spoke of eerie happenings, but nothing ever gripped the town like the tale of Jeremiah Grinlow. Jeremiah was the town's eccentric. By day, he wandered the cobbled streets in tattered clothes, muttering incoherently and grinning at strangers. Children mocked him, adults pitied him, and the town dismissed him as harmless, a relic of some tragedy no one cared to remember. But when the sun dipped below the horizon, Jeremiah became something else entirely. At night, when the world was quiet, lone figures who dared tread the streets often disappeared. Their screams echoed faintly, swallowed by the dense fog that blanketed the town. Rumors swirled, tales of a dark spirit, of a curse tied to the woods, of shadowy figures that danced at the edge of vision. No one suspected Jeremiah, the madman who laughed at walls and conversed with the air. Until Emma. Emma was the daughter of the baker, bright-eyed and curious. She had always felt the pull of the forest, a forbidden allure. On a fateful night, driven by a dare from her friends, she ventured out alone. Lantern in hand, she walked the dirt path, her breath visible in the chill air. "You shouldn't be here," a voice crooned from the shadows. Emma froze. The voice was familiar. Jeremiah. From the darkness he emerged, his crooked grin lit by the dim light of her lantern. "Bad things happen at night," he whispered, his voice suddenly clear and sharp, a far cry from his daytime ramblings. Emma's scream shattered the stillness, but no one came. Jeremiah's grin widened as he stepped closer. She turned and ran, the light from her lantern swinging wildly. The forest seemed endless, the path twisting and turning in ways she didn't recognize. Jeremiah followed, his steps steady, his movements deliberate. He spoke as he pursued her, his voice carrying unnervingly through the woods. "They never believe the madman. They never see the truth. But you're different, aren't you, Emma?" Emma stumbled into a clearing, the cold air slicing through her lungs. Her lantern's light flickered and died. She fell to her knees, clutching at the dirt, sobbing. The sound of Jeremiah's approach was unrelenting, his boots crunching leaves with a terrifying rhythm. But then, silence. When Emma dared to look up, he was gone. The woods stood still, the only sound her ragged breathing. Trembling, she rose to her feet, her eyes darting around the clearing. "Run," Jeremiah whispered, his voice coming from everywhere and nowhere. Emma's instincts took over. She bolted, her legs burning with effort. The town's edge came into view, its faint lights a beacon of hope. She burst into the main square, screaming for help. Doors creaked open, faces peeking out cautiously. But Jeremiah was gone. The townsfolk found only Emma, hysterical and babbling about the madman. The next morning, Jeremiah shuffled through the streets as usual, his grin as wide as ever. The townspeople shook their heads at Emma's wild claims. Jeremiah was harmless, they insisted, just a broken man. But Emma knew better. She saw the gleam in his eyes as he passed her, the silent promise that the hunt was far from over. The nights grew colder, the disappearances more frequent. Emma couldn't sleep, haunted by dreams of Jeremiah and the forest. She knew it was only a matter of time before he came for her again. But this time, she would be ready.